What's up you sexy sea dogs, it's your captain speaking, and today I wanted to share some tips and tricks on how to improve your PvP skills in Sea of Thieves. Now just before we get into the guide, if you enjoy this type of content and find it in any way helpful, then please make sure to subscribe as it helps me out a lot. Now without any further delay, let's dive in. My first bit of advice for those who are looking to improve their PvP skills is to stop running away from other people, as running away doesn't give you any experience from fighting and will hinder your PvP progression. Now this isn't also to say take every fight no matter what, as in some circumstances it's not possible, as you might be low on resources or maybe they're even trying to run away from you. What I'm saying is just don't be scared to turn into a fight and make educated and realistic choices on whether or not you feel like you could win that fight. A good tool that my mate Goose and I used when we were learning to PvP was that we used to play a lot of arena, and don't get me wrong, when we first started we got absolutely shit on, but after a few weeks we noticed that we began to survive longer, we figured out strategies that worked, and we grew more confident with our skills until eventually we now near end up top 2 in every arena game with 0 sinks. And not to mention in adventure mode, we found ourselves hauling more and more loot each time we played. So I would definitely say use arena, it's an amazing tool. Another thing that helped me was finding what weapons I perform the best with. I've tried every combination of weapon possible and would use them for a good while before making an informed choice if this was the best weapon for me, or if I needed to change something up. After a few months of playing, I finally found my golden choice of Blundy and Pistol. For you this might be different, it's all up to personal preference, but make sure to mix and match your weapons and get a feel for each weapon and choose which one suits your combat style the best. One thing I would say that you 100% need to do though is adjust your settings, not graphically, but stuff like your FOV, mouse sensitivity, and controls if you have to. Just play around with them and make the game feel more natural for you to play. For reference, here's my FOV and sense if you want to use my settings or want to use that as a reference. Now, as simple as this sounds, watch your guides on things such as how to solo sloop or how to improve your aim, and really try to invest yourself into the mechanics of the Sea of Thieves combat. Try to understand the cannonball arcs, when to use fire bombs and blunder bombs, and what food to eat in what situation. All of this will not only improve your knowledge of the game, but will also help you make more educated choices and make better decisions in the long run. And if I haven't already, I will 100% be making a guide on the different foods, cannonballs, and weapons, so make sure to keep an eye out on my channel for those. So for the last 2 tips, I'm going to combine them into one, and that's learning how to accept defeat and not being toxic. First of all, if you learn how to accept defeat, this will be the turning point for your PvP skills and will help you improve drastically, as you'll be able to look back on the fights you've just had and say, that's what I did wrong, instead of, that's unfair, I worked hard for my loot. This will allow you to think about how you can improve in the next fight as well, and what you should and shouldn't do in certain situations. And if you don't learn how to accept defeat and start being toxic and giving up, that is not going to help you at all, because as bad as this sounds, it is your own fault for having your ship sink. It shows that you've made some bad decisions during the fight, so then to get toxic at the other player and then just to alt F4 is no way to improve your fight at all. And plus, when people are extremely toxic to me, I do find it extremely funny, and it makes me want to sink them more and more for my own entertainment. So just learn to accept defeat and know when you made mistakes and learn from those. Anyway, that's all I've got for this topic. If you have any questions, then please leave them in the comments and I'll try to answer them. If you liked this video and found it helpful, then please make sure to leave a like and subscribe. And if you want to see more Sea of Thieves content, then please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see y'all on the seas.
A ship, she dreams of wind in her sails, of wind in her sails, unfurled.